Hi guys, Dazzie here with another episode of my showcase series. This time is episode 71, and tonight I will be showcasing the Green Arrow key issue comic books in my personal collection. Yeah, followers of my channel will know that it was actually the Arrow TV show that got me started into this great hobby. So this showcase means a lot to me. But before we go there, as always guys, I'm going to run through my latest poll. Yeah, on my community page, I've been running polls where you guys can vote for your favourite things. And my latest poll, I wanted to know, who was your favourite Batman actor? I gave 5 options. We had Ben Affleck, we had Christian Bale, we had Michael Keaton, we had Adam West, and then we had Val Kilmer. Coming in at last place was Val Kilmer with 2% of the votes. Up next, Adam West just pipped him out with 3% of the votes. A joint second place between my favourite Ben Affleck and Christian Bale with 28% of the votes, meaning that Michael Keaton took down the title with 39% of the votes, guys. It's exciting times if you're a Michael Keaton Batman fan. Of course, we are getting him returning in the Flash movie. Can't wait for that. Thanks to the 36 people who took part in my latest poll. There'll be a new one up tomorrow. Okay, so we are talking Green Arrow. And a lot of you are probably thinking, well, there can't be too many Green Arrow keys. But I have so many Green Arrow issues, guys. I know my keys when it comes to Green Arrow. I hope you enjoy this show. Like I said, it all started because I was a big fan of the Arrow. And I actually met my hero at the time. And that was Dazzie with Oliver Queen himself, Stephen Amell. And then that fantastic villain that came into season 2, Deathstroke. Here I am with Jonathan Manu Bennett, who portrayed Deathstroke in the show, wearing a Flash shirt. So hope I didn't offend him too much. Great guy. Got his signature as well. And the final one I'll show you quickly is a character that was introduced into the Arrow TV show. And that was Brandon Routh, aka Ray Palmer. And now in the Arrowverse, he was Superman again. So you can see how much big a fan I was of it. And of course, Arrow started strong. First 3 seasons were great. And then, yeah, Emily Beckett's character, took over a little bit. And it went downhill a little bit. It is what it is. But those first 2 seasons in particular remain, to me, some of the best superhero stuff out there. Let's get into the keys, guys, because that's why you're here. First up, this is a book I won in a competition from Joker 68. And this is actually a graphic novel. This is Green Arrow Volume 2. And the reason I include this one, this is signed by the inker, Joe Rubenstein. So that was a nice pickup. Like I say, I won that in a prize in November of 2018 from the great YouTuber Joker 68. Now into the comics themselves, and we're starting with, of course, Arrow #1, premiere issue of the TV show. Why is this hot? Well, this is the first cameo appearance of John Diggle. Not in comics continuity. I'll show you that one in a little while. Of course, John Diggle is the sidekick to Oliver Queen's Green Arrow. And he is still in the Arrowverse now. This is an incentive variant cover by Mike Grell, which is a 1 in 5. £5 I paid for that. Probably overpaid at the time, but I had to have it. Then we have Arrow issue #2. And this is the first full appearance and origin of John Diggle. Again, not in comics continuity. £1.29 for that one. Way back in 2016. And then the second Arrow series, We have Arrow 2.5, issue number 1. If I was ever to meet Stephen Amell again, I may well get him to sign that cover. £2 for that. Now into the continuity books, and we're starting with Convergence Green Arrow, issue number 1. And this is the first meeting between Oliver Queen and his son Connor Hawke in this issue. Of course, Connor Hawke came into the Arrowverse. I think he started off in the Legends of Tomorrow, one of those episodes. This was a gift from my brother-in-law for Christmas of 2015, I think. So yeah, one of the very first comics I ever had. Then we have the first Green Arrow solo title, which is Green Arrow issue number 1, and this comes from early 1980s. I can't recall the year, but this is the origin of Speedy in this issue. Roy Harper, £5.7 for that on eBay, middle of 2016. Then we move on to the next volume of Green Arrow, and this comes from 1988. I think the other one was 1983, if I'm not mistaken. This is the premiere issue, first appearance of Annie Green, and this is actually another signed book, this time from Mike Grell, the cover artist, writer and inker. Another great pickup from Joker 68's competition. Got a couple of those copies. Sticking with this volume, we go to Green Arrow issue number 21. And this is an undervalued book in my opinion. This is the first appearance of Robert Queen, the son of Oliver Queen and Shadow. Shadow appeared in the Arrowverse. $2.25 for that. Moving on, Green Arrow issue 34. A little bit of a tape pull on this one. Now this issue's on the Key Collector because partial nudity beyond the average mainstream comics as Dinah Lance, the Black Canary, and Oliver Queen show their affections for one another. And I've checked out the book. Yes, that is indeed true. So a little bit of a raunchy issue, this one. £1 for that one. On to the next volume of Green Arrow, and this starts off in the 90s, 1994 to be precise. This is Green Arrow issue 0, and this is the first appearance of Connor Hawke, the son of Green Arrow. Like I said, was in Legends of Tomorrow, and then later on in the Arrow show. It's also the first appearance of Master Jansen. This was another gift from my brother-in-law for my birthday of 2016. Then we move all the way up to issue 91. And this is the first appearance of Sandra Hawke. Sandra Hawke. £2.29 for that one. 93 is the only Green Arrow key issue that I'm missing. I mean, obviously, I haven't got the first appearance of Green Arrow. But when it comes to Green Arrow titled books, 93 is the only one I'm missing, I believe. Up next, Green Arrow issue 96. And this is where Green Arrow learns that Connor is his son. It's also the first appearance of the 4th of July, the second version of that villain. £2.29 for that on eBay. Issue 101 comes up next. And this is the apparent death and funeral of Green Arrow. £4 for that one in Birmingham of 2016. Issue 102 follows, and this is where Connor Hawke becomes the second Green Arrow. It's an Underworld's Unleashed tie-in. £4.20 for that one. Issue 110 is the first appearance of Hatchet, who is Barry Hackett, sorry. £4 for that one. This is a DC Universe variant as well, which is nice. Oh, it's also the first new Green Arrow and new Green Lantern team up in that book as well. Sorry about that. Issue 137 is the final key from this volume I'll show you. This is where the Green Arrow returns from the grave. The final issue of the run. 229 for that one. These later issues, 100 upwards, they can go for 20 plus on a good day. Now we know Green Arrow keys aren't overly expensive, but like I say, some of them, in fact quite a few, can go for 20 plus. Up next, we have Annual 7 from that run. And this is the first appearance of Robert Queen, but this Robert Queen is Oliver's father, who appeared in the Arrowverse. It's also the first appearance of his mother, Moira Queen. £2.39 for that. Again, an undervalued book in my opinion. I do believe we will see Green Arrow in the mainstream DC cinematic universe. Then we move on to the next volume, and this comes from 2001. Green Arrow issue number 1. And this is the first appearance of Stanley Dover. But this is the premiere issue that comes from Kevin Smith. £7 for that one in Orbital Comics in London. Early 2016. I've had 2 or 3 of these as well. I have a signed Kevin Smith book. I think it is the Spider-Man and Black Cat issue. I found that for £1. And of course Kevin Smith, well, Jay and Silent Bob appeared in the Arrowverse in The Flash, didn't they? Up next, Green Arrow number 2. And this is the first appearance of Mia Dearden, who becomes the second Speedy. And that character appeared in the Smallville TV show. £2 for that one. Love this cover. This is Green Arrow issue 12 from 2002. And this is the first appearance of Onomatopoeia, a serial killer who speaks only in sounds. £2 for that one. At the Car Boot in 2016. Issue 13 is the first full appearance and cover appearance of Onomatopoeia. There he is, obviously. It's also the first appearance in Death of Bucky. But that is not obviously the Marvel Bucky. $1.99 for that one. This is probably my favourite volume of Green Arrow. Up next, issue 24 is the first appearance of Amon Sur, leader of the Black Circle crime syndicate and son of Abin Sur, the lantern who gave Hal Jordan his ring upon his death. £1 for that one at the Car Boot. These covers are fantastic. Up next, issue 27 is the first appearance of Constantine Drakon, another villain from the Arrow show. £2.50 for that. I like this issue because I like the character. This is Green Arrow issue 40. And this is the first appearance of Brick, Daniel Brickwell, who was portrayed by the ex-footballer Vinnie Jones in the Green Arrow TV show. $5.95 for that one. Up next, issue 45. This is where Mia Dearden becomes the second Speedy. $6.98 for that one on eBay. Most of these books come from 2016. You know, that's when I was really into the show. Up next, issue 75. And this is where Green Arrow proposes to the Black Canary, Dinah Laurel Lance. $1.50 for that one at the local antique centre. That's the final book I'll show you from that volume. On to the next pile of books. The next volume was very short, but I did have the number 1, which is The Brightest Day Green Arrow. And this is the first appearance of Walter Steele, who was the stepfather to Oliver Queen's Green Arrow in the early seasons of Green Arrow, married to Moira. It's also the first appearance of Isabel Rochev, who was also in the Arrow show. $3.90 for that. I like the character of Walter Steele. On to the next volume, which was the New 52, which started in 2011. Issue 1. Premiere issue. £2 for that one. This book can go for double figures on a good day. Pick that up with the Cheltenham Con of 2017. From issue 1 we go to issue number 3. And this is the first cameo appearance of the villain Blood Rose. And the villain Midas. 150 for that one. Issue 4 is the first full appearance of Blood Rose. I think that's her in the background. From 4 we go to 17. And this is the first appearance of the villain Komodo with Simon LeCroix. $2.99 for that one. Issue 18. And this is the first appearance of Red Arrow, half-sister of Green Arrow. She was a Miko Queen. She appeared in season 7, was it, of Arrow, if I'm not mistaken. $2.99 for that one on eBay. From there we go to issue 23. And this is the first appearance of Ricardo Diaz Jr. as the Dragon. Another great villain from the Arrow show. And he appeared in season, was it 5 and 6? It's also the origin of Komodo in this one. Pick this one up in the Comic Guru in Cardiff. Check out Hall's episode 124 for a rant. I just showed you the first appearance of John Diggle, not in continuity. Here he is, first appearing in the DC continuity in Green Arrow issue 24. This is the regular Andrea Sorrentino cover. There is an incentive sketch cover that I would love to add to my collection. There's just 24,620 copies of this book. I've just listed one of these actually, and yeah, it was going well because John Diggle is being lined up to be the Green Lantern in the Arrowverse, I believe. And then we're on to the latest volume of Green Arrow, or the Rebirth. This is Green Arrow issue number 1. Just the premiere issue. That's the regular Juan Ferreira cover. $2.10 for that one. Cheltenham. Issue 2 is the first appearance of the villain Dante. And again, another character that appeared in the Arrow TV show. $2.10 for that one. This book can go for some good coin on a good day. Green Arrow issue 32. This is a Dark Knight's Metal tie-in. Is the first appearance of the Batmobile belonging to the Batman Who Laughs. And the second full appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. $2.75 for that one. The regular Stepano Sejic cover. To go with that, I have the variant. And that comes from a great Green Arrow artist, Mike Grell. £3 for that one. Planet All Stars, Cirencester. Then we go to issue 43. And this is the first appearance of the Citizen, Joseph Joe Strands, a vigilante who quickly turns into a problem. Okay. That's a nice Alex Maleev cover. $3.98 for that one. We've got a Green Arrow issue 1. Just have to include it. It's a 3D motion cover. This is a Future's End Green Arrow. This is a nice collection of books. Some keys in this one. This is Mike Grell's, I just spoke about Mike Grell, Green Arrow, The Longbow Hunters. And this is issue number 1. Issue number 1. And this is the first appearance of Oliver's early love interest on the island. And that was Shadow. It's also the debut of the new Green Arrow costume. $3.35 for that on eBay. From issue 1 we go to issue 3. And this is the first appearance of Eddie Fires, a villain on the island who worked alongside Deathstroke. Had the early mask. $6.50 for that on eBay. Just love those, like almost like painted covers. Then we have Green Arrow Rebirth. And this is the first appearance of the 9th Circle Group, which is a villainous like cult group, and they were in the Arrow TV show. £2.08 for that one. That is the regular Juan Ferreira cover. To go with that, I have the variant from Steve Skroce. $2.08 for that. Then we have Green Arrow Year 1. And this is the first appearance of a villain that appeared in several seasons. And that villain was China White, Chien Na Wei. and started off as a bit of a vigilante herself, and then actually joined the Suicide Squad team in the Arrowverse. Pound for that one. 2 issues left. First then we have Green Arrow and Black Canary, issue 15. And this is the first appearance of Carrie Cutter, who later became Cupid, a character, again, that started off on her own and then joined the Suicide Squad in the Arrowverse. So it's the first appearance of Dregs. Pound for that one. Issue 17 is the first full appearance of Carrie Cutter as Cupid in costume, and the first cover appearance as well. Carrie Cutter was also known as Carrie Hartnell. And the final book I will show you is Green Arrow Black Canary, the wedding special. And obviously this is the wedding of Green Arrow and Black Canary. £2.38 for that. So like I say, guys, there aren't massive keys in Green Arrow books, but there's something to be on the lookout for next time you're in your dollar boxes, especially if you're a fan of the cheesy Arrowverse like I am. Thanks for all your support. Channel's going very well. Plenty of books still to show you guys. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. Bye.